Hi, welcome to Impact Point Academy. I am Emmanuel Tobiloba. In this YouTube channel, we are going to be providing you with educational content and materials that can help young people grow and also help teenage people pass examinations successfully. So, we are going to be giving you amazing educational content.
Hello students, good morning. My name is Nonso. We're talking about vitamins. Last time we talked about carbohydrates extensively. So today I'm going to talk about everything that has to do with vitamins that you need to know. Now, what are vitamins? Vitamins are simply supplements, are simply body supplements. They are simply supplements that the body requires for daily functions. They are simply supplements. Please note the word supplements. They are simply supplements the body requires for daily function. Generally, well, we have what is called the classification of vitamins. We have classification of vitamins. Now, basically, vitamins are classified into two. We have what is called the fat-soluble vitamins. We have the fat-soluble vitamins. And we have the water-soluble vitamins. And we have the water-soluble vitamins. So these are the two classifications of vitamins. So we're looking at them one after the other. Now, for the first one, let's talk about the fat-soluble vitamins. The fat-soluble vitamins. Now, for the fat-soluble vitamins, I usually classify these as ADEC. I usually classify this name or these acronyms known as ADEC. Now, what does ADEC means? ADEC simply means vitamin A, vitamin D, then vitamin E, then vitamin K. That's the word. So, what is their names? Their names. Look at the functions. Their names, and we look at the functions. Now, for example, 1. Vitamin A is known as retinol. Vitamin A is known as retinol. And the function of vitamin A, it helps in the functioning of the eyes. That is, it helps as a supplement for the eyes. Then we look at deficiency as well. We look at deficiency. Lack of vitamin A in the body results or can result to what is known as night blindness. Night blindness, or what we call the blood vision. Blood vision. Night blindness or blood vision. Let me give you a typical example of this night blindness. For example, someone that says someone stays in the dark room for 20 minutes, in a very dark room for 20 minutes, and the person comes to light. What happens initially, or what happened first, is that the eyes want to adjust to the light environment. As such, what that person is experiencing that period is known as night blindness, or what we call blood vision. So lack of vitamin A can result to night blindness or blood vision. Then also, in some cases, they will mention what is known as xerophthalmia. Xerophthalmia, but I won't explain this for the sake of some students at this level. So let me extricate xerophthalmia. Then look at D. Usually vitamin D at this level is classified into D2 and we have D3. Vitamin D2 and D3. D2 is called calciferol. Then D3 is called cholecalciferol. Cholecalciferol. What is the function of vitamin D? We know that generally, if you watch some advert, they will tell you this milk, this Bonfita, this milk contains vitamin D, and vitamin D is for strong bone and teeth from the adverts. So meaning that vitamin D basically is for strong bone and teeth. Then what are the deficiency? What is the deficiency? For the case of calciferol, which is D2, what we have as deficiency is known as rickets. rickets. And this ricket usually occurs in children. It usually occurs in children. And what this means is the softening of bones. The softening of bones. It causes the softening of bones in children. Then in the case of D3, the deficiency of D3 causes what is known as osteomalacia. In the case of this one, it occurs in adults. Same thing as the softening of bones in adults. That is fragile bone in adults. Then the third one we have is E, vitamin E. Vitamin E is called tocopherol. If you don't call it tocopherol, you call it ergosterol. Then the major function, this one happens to take place in the nervous coordination in the brain. It helps in nervous coordination in the brain. That's the major function. Then in this case, deficiency can result to obviously incoordination of the nervous system in this case. Then vitamin K. Vitamin K is called phylloquinol. And the function of phylloquinol is what is known as blood production. So it helps in blood production in the body. So that's the function of vitamin K. Now let me say this before I move on. Vitamin K and vitamin B12. The name of B12, which I will talk about, is known as cyanocobalamin. Vitamin K and B12 performs the same function, which is what? Blood production in the body. They perform the same function, which is known as blood production in the body. And the same thing, that deficiency, in the case of deficiency, deficiency results into what is called anemia. That is shortage of blood. Shortage of blood in the body. So they perform the same function in the body. Then we look at the next one. Which I believe this is simple enough to understand. Then we look at the second one, water-soluble vitamins. Water-soluble vitamins. So let's look at water-soluble vitamins. We've talked about the fat-soluble vitamins, and I've explained it in simple terms. Okay, water-soluble vitamins. We have B1. Let me start this way. Vitamin B1. Then we have vitamin B2. Then we have B3. Then we have B4. Then we have B6. Then we have B12, which is what we talked about in this case. Blood production and deficiency, anemia, shortage of blood in the body. And let me say something here before I forget. Some students usually ask a question and say, please teacher, what's the difference between hemophilia and hemorrhage? What is the difference between hemophilia and hemorrhage? Hemophilia is genetic. It's a sex-linked disease. It's genetic. It's a sex-linked disease. Why this one is not genetic? This one simply means when somebody sustains an injury, the loss of blood sustained by the loss of blood during an injury. Why this one is simply inability of an injury or wound to heal, because it's what? Genetic. Inability of an injury to heal because it's genetic. But this one simply means loss of blood and it's not genetic. In this case, the injury or the wound heals, but in this case, it does not for a very long time. Alright, B1 is anurin or thiamine. Anurin or thiamine. Then the deficiency of vitamin B1 is called beriberi. It's called beriberi. And we'll give you a practical example here. When water is being poured on the body of a chicken, the body becomes scaly. You notice that the body becomes scaly. That is an example of beriberi. When an organism or an animal is suffering from B1, vitamin B1, the person experiences a scaly skin, and that is called beriberi. Then we look at vitamin B2. B2 is called riboflavin. B2 is called riboflavin. For deficiency in this case, usually we have what is called sore on the skin, or mouth. Sore in the skin or mouth. That is why those suffering from sore in the skin or the mouth, they recommend vitamin B2 rather, for them as a solution. In other words, this vitamin B2 works more on the skin and in the mouth. Then we have B3, niacin or nicotinic acid. Niacin or nicotinic acid. Then B4, pantothenic acid. Then B6 is called pyridoxine. Then we have the next one, B12, cyanocobalamin, which I've explained that cyanocobalamin does the same function with vitamin K. Alright, then we look at vitamin folic acid as well, the same function as vitamin K, and the deficiency the same thing. Then vitamin C, which is the most popular type of vitamin we have. The most popular, almost everybody here must have taken vitamin C before, either as a child or as an adult. The name vitamin C is called ascorbic acid. Vitamin C helps to increase appetite. It helps in the healing of wounds as well, etc. It does many functions. Then we look at this generally. The niacin, B3, pantothenic acid, B4, pyridoxine, B6. Collectively, these ones here are involved with nervous coordination. They are involved with nervous coordination. So when you look at this generally, you've seen that we have been able to tackle everything as far as this level is concerned that has to do with the topic vitamins. Just like last time we talked about carbohydrates extensively. So today, we've been able to look into this and we have finished everything that has to do with this for this level. So, with this, we have come to the end of this topic. Thank you and God bless you. Please save